Herschel Walker. Basically, his campaign is being ran by Senator Lindsey Graham. And Walker has often been joined by Senator Graham and also Senator Ted Cruz in on-air appearances. Watch these.
Thank Herschel Walker and his family for representing the Republican Party in Georgia so well.
How can he keep the almighty oath to the almighty God and he keep it for them? He hadn't kept it for nobody, so that proves the type of man he really is.
But I'm all in. I'm gonna do 34 push-ups. And if you'll give $1 for every push-up I do, you tell me when.
Go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is it about this guy? He changes the entire narrative of the left. We're a party of racists, Sean. Me and you're a racist. The Republican Party's racist. Well, what happens when the Republican Party elects and nominates Herschel Walker, an African-American black? They have treated him like crap. His family, stand by Herschel tonight.
An African-American black. We all those things all wrapped up. You know, it's very clear that Senator Lindsey Graham does not understand the definition of racism, what systemic racism means, just by electing, God forbid, Mr. Herschel Walker as a GOP senator in the great state of Georgia does not make the GOP not racist. Let's underline it, bold it, put it in a message in a bottle and send it on a train. The brother don't understand, and so we need to send him back to school, Mayor, because he doesn't get it. Watching that was embarrassing for me. I was embarrassed for Herschel Walker. He looks like a puppet. And I don't want to see anybody, especially a black man, looking like that. But it was very clear who's in control. And they don't want him to say anything. They just want him to perform. And yeah, there you have it. Mayor, your thoughts on what we just saw?
That was, you're absolutely right. That was disgusting. As a black man watching that, it hurts to see that. But I mean, we are talking about Herschel Walker. This is a black man who's been told by his whole life by white men what to do. Run the football, run this way, do this. His entire life has been controlled by white men. And it seems that his campaign is an extension to his life, and it's tragic. You know, I talk about crocodile tears. Lindsey Graham crying, talking about this will make that party not racist is ridiculous to me. The Republican Party is still a racist party, with or without Herschel Walker. And his thinking is Herschel Walker comes in, he'll be able to tell him what to do. You saw what happened the one time that Senator Scott from South Carolina got in line on trying to work with the Democrats on police reform. Lindsey Graham shut him down. So he's thinking we don't need a free thinking black man in the Senate. We need one that we can control like they've been doing. And you're absolutely right. They don't want Herschel to say anything, which is why they've kept him from the microphone from any reporters for the past 30 days. He's not said one thing to reporters because when he speaks, the world is reminded that it's dumb. And maybe he is the perfect candidate. Lindsey Graham said him being elected rewrites the narrative. No, it puts on blast that the Republican has no platform and they're willing to elect anybody with an R beside their name, regardless of what they stand for, i.e. Donald Trump, i.e. January 6th, i.e. all of the election deniers, all of these people who will say that none of the elections for the past 2 years have been real, except they won elections themselves or they wouldn't be in office. So it's not their election, it's only when Democrats win that they have a problem with elections. And we know that patriot means something completely different to Republicans. It means you're loyal to white supremacy and white think, not this country, not Old Glory. If you're loyal to Republicans and what happened on January 6th, then they're good with it. They don't care about this country. We know that now.
That is the truth. And you know, Mr. Walker certainly was a talented football player, but being the next senator, United States senator, state senator, any type of senator from the great state of Georgia is really not his assignment. It's just not, and it is embarrassing. And so it's clear that the Republican Party is using Herschel Walker. Now, we're no stranger to black people being used. I want to lay this out very clearly that the mayor and I understand that the Democratic Party does not have clean hands either. It is just that in this case, what the Republicans are doing with Mr. Herschel Walker is overt. It's very open. We can see it with our own eyes and how this man responds or lack of response. He's like a Manchurian candidate to them. He's like a toy, like a puppet. I mean, that is what it is, and it's unfortunate. However, both parties use black people. The Democrats just do it at times more covertly. Now, in this case, we're talking about the GOP, but I just had the mayor put an asterisk there because I don't want folks to think that you and I don't understand what happens in politics, especially when it comes to the Black community. We get it, we got it. We're talking about this instance right here. Even Joy-Ann Reid called out what is happening to Herschel Walker. Take a look at this.
Heard this from a lot of Black men, even if they're not in Georgia. There's a certain disrespect that a lot of Black men in particular feel about particularly the way that Walker has been walked around by people like Lindsey Graham and sort of used and put forward. They don't seem to respect him, and they don't seem to respect Black people.
No. It's embarrassing as hell. I mean, it really, really is. It's cringy. I mean, it just makes you cringe because, again, we don't want to see anybody disrespected or used like that, and especially a Black man, especially somebody. And Mayor, the point that you made about he is accustomed by virtue of the fact that he was a football player and the coaches mainly were white and the owner of the team was white. And so you're right, and that's no dig at him that his previous career, he definitely was controlled by white men. So this is comfortable. I mean, this is a comfortable position for him, unfortunately. So no slam on him, but that's just the reality of being a sports figure, Mayor.
It is. It absolutely is. It also speaks to the fact that 70% of the people that play football are Black at the professional level, and none of the owners are. Right? None of the owners of the teams are Black. So that too highlights the discrepancy in equity or lack of equity in this country and in the systems. And I think you're right. I think that clip you just played with Joy-Ann Reid speaks to something like this is not just Black men in Georgia that are offended by what's happening with the Republicans, and you said it clear. Democrats are on call as well. They have their issues as it pertains to Black people not having equity in their party, although we overwhelmingly support their candidates and lift that party up. I would say the Democratic Party does not win national elections without the Black vote ever, right? For the past 40, 50 years, this has been the case. So I think I mean, there's some truth to that. But right now, what we're seeing, this is absolutely disgusting. Not just because Herschel Walker is inept to be a candidate, but he's not even a Georgian. There's not a Black Republican in Georgia that they saw fit to run as a candidate. You went all the way to Texas to find Herschel Walker to be a candidate. Like you said, this is not his call, and this is not his bill in life. We as Black voters, as Black men voters, will not stand by. And I know people are ticked off because, like you said, we've been in Georgia since 2019, working steadily with the Black Male Voter Project. A shameless plug here, but right now in the runoff, we've knocked on 160,000 doors of Black men talking about this, and Black men are not happy about Herschel Walker's candidacy. It also shows that people don't understand Black men at the political level. This is why it's so important that we continue to listen to what brothers are saying.
Yeah, we have to. And, miss me on that. Black men are not involved and engaged because they are. And Mary, again, you are an expert in engaging Black men all across this country, but especially in Georgia over the last 3 years.